everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a brand new speed build, this time doing something a little bit more rustic and kind of homely. This is Meadow View cottage. It's a 3-bed, 2-bathroom build built on a 40 by 30 lot in Windenburg, and it comes in at just less than 167,000 simoleons. So this time I decided to bring the size of the lots that I've been building back down to something that's probably a little bit more practical and reasonable in size. I know when I play The Sims, I prefer to play in sort of medium-sized houses, nothing that's too small that the family can't grow, but nothing that's that big that I'm going to lose my Sims, or it's going to take them ages to get between activities and the things that I want them to do. So my thought process for this home was to create something that felt really homely, something that was quite rustic, that if you drove past it you would know it had been there for many, many years. I kind of imagined that the family that lived here would possibly even pass the home down throughout the generations, but at the same time I didn't really want to do an interior that was just old-fashioned. I did want to make it quite homely and sort of very, very cozy. I have to say that building in this particular style is one of my absolute favourites. I really, really love the way that this particular style looks, and I do actually have some houses nearby to where I live, and we did look at buying one of them, but every time I drive past them I always think they just look so sort of cosy and rustic, and that's exactly what I wanted to sort of portray in this particular build. Also, it goes without saying that Windenburg is one of my favourite worlds. It's just so picturesque, and it's probably where I'd build the majority of my homes if I could. If it had the right size lots in, I would definitely build in this world all the time. But yeah, I really, really like it, and I hope you guys do too. So I actually did a lot of experimenting with the outside of this house. I wasn't really sure what colour scheme I was going to go for. I knew that I wanted it to have a sort of autumn theme, and I did really build this house with the particular season of autumn in mind. Obviously autumn is absolutely beautiful. I haven't experienced it, I must admit, gameplay wise as yet in The Sims, because I've just been stuck in build mode this entire week, just really enjoying building, but I can't wait to experience it because I'm sure that the worlds look absolutely breathtaking. I know that some people on Twitter post up screenshots sometimes of The Sims, and they are really, really gorgeous, so I do look forward to, you know, seeing what this house does actually look like in autumn. But yeah, I'd say with the exterior of this house, I did a lot of experimenting with different wallpapers. Now, I have heavily edited this video, otherwise it would be like hours long, but I literally did play around with lots and lots of different colours, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to go for, but that's all the fun of creating houses in The Sims, is that you just get to play around and just experiment with different styles. But this is what I went for in the end, which I felt like it kind of looked quite traditional, which is what I was really going for. So I have to say, even though this is a 40 by 30 lot, it feels so much smaller than what I normally build on, because I was saying in my last video that I normally build on 40 by 30 lots that are quite wide, whereas this one is one of the longer ones, and I just felt like the build didn't take as long to build, which was just really weird. But yeah, so I'm just doing the landscaping at the moment, and obviously I went for lots and lots of green lush plants, and I also went for like pops of red as well, because I just think that kind of colour scheme kind of goes really well with the style of the house. But I did include this little pond as well, and I included a couple of fountains, and I had fun actually doing the pond, because I think it's quite nice when you use the water fountains and you're able to kind of layer them up to create different styles, which is something that I think I did in the last build that I did as well. Now, with regards to skill building items, the front of this house is purely just landscape, and I don't think there's a lot of stuff in it that's kind of skill building. I know we've got a few seating areas as well. We've got a couple of chairs around the pond, and again, I think I put like a little bench outside the front of the house. But around the back, I did include some planters, as well as obviously a barbecue area, and I did include a set of swings as well. But the back garden is kind of a little bit spacious. I think if you wanted to add in activities and skill building items, there's certainly the space to be able to do it, which is a good thing. But I did spend quite a bit of time on the exterior of this house, just trying to build it up and sort of layer it and just make it look quite detailed. Something that I don't think I included in the footage was actually one of the front and the back roofing, which goes over the porch area. I ended up changing that to sort of an intricate glass roof, which gave off a really nice effect, and I thought it would look really nice when the sun was shining to be set out there. But I don't think I included it in the footage, but you'll see it later on and obviously in the photographs. So I'm just moving on to the back garden now, and yeah, I'd say with the landscaping, I just wanted it to be kept really sort of pretty and as if somebody had spent many years sort of manicuring it, if that makes sense. But it is really bizarre because this lot, even though it is 40 by 30, just felt so much smaller. But the back garden's quite straightforward. I'd say it was fairly manicured really, but like I say, there's plenty of space if you wanted to add anything extra in. But I did try to go for some different sort of floor patterns, and I always sort of aim to use, I say this every time, I always try and aim to use different items than I would ordinarily go for, because you do tend to gravitate towards those same objects, and there are certain objects that we've got no choice but to use, but things like floor patterns and designs and stuff is kind of, you know, is open to change. So I had a lot of fun with that seating area. Even though I edited it down, it did actually take me ages to pick what I was going to put there, but I got there in the end, so thank God for that. But yeah, this is the kitchen, and I kept saying in the last couple of builds that I was doing, well, you know, I was going to start out doing a really big kitchen. It ends up being really tiny. But this time I was like, no, we are going to have a big kitchen. I'm going to build a big one. So I did. And I also actually built a separate kind of utility area, is what we would call it in the UK, which is kind of like your separate laundry room as well. So there is so much room in this kitchen for your Sims to do things. So whether it's going to be a Sim who's into maybe the cooking career and is a foodie, I think it would be a good one for those. But yeah, it was I went for quite neutral tones throughout the house, what I like to call earthy tones. It's very neutral across the board. There are lots of dark woods, and I just kind of feel when I think of a really homely kind of cozy home, I always think of really sort of dark wooden tones. So that's what I went for throughout this build. But like I say, I didn't want the interior to be too old-fashioned that it didn't really have any taste. I wanted it to kind of be something that maybe was done up over time and was a little bit more modern on the inside. Now, I did find, if I'm honest, that this house just seemed to be really, really dark. It was quite dark on the inside and it was fairly dark on the outside. So you'll see that on my actual thumbnail and on the sort of panning of the camera at the beginning of the video, I decided to place this house over in Granite Falls, where I felt that the lighting was so much better. It was really quite dim on this particular lot, but I did build this house for Windenburg, and which is where the house would be placed if I was going to actually download it and place it in my game. So something else I did actually do with the lighting is, in the last video that I did, I used debug lighting, but I didn't use any of that in this one. All I did was I used the bb.moveobjects cheat, and as I placed one light, and this is like the wall lights in the kitchen, I placed multiple lights, so they're actually layered up. So there's probably about 5 lights per light. I don't think I'm even making sense, but it just makes it that much brighter. So obviously, as I say in every video, if you choose to download this house, please make sure that you have the move objects cheat active before you do download it, because God knows what those lights would look like if you didn't. So I'm just moving on to the small laundry area at the moment, and yeah, it's quite straightforward really. Nothing exciting in there, nothing that you really want to go in there for in real life either. I mean, who really likes washing at the end of the day? But yeah, I just kept it quite simple. I was going to put like maybe a dog bed in there and the pet bowls and stuff, but I thought no, I'll just keep it as it is. In fact, even though I've added in a dog bowl, I don't think I've put a dog bed anywhere, so that's something else you'd have to add in if you were going to have a dog or a cat, maybe. Let's not be biased now. But this is the living room, and I decided to go for kind of like this dark blue wooden colours with some cream as well. I'm really into blue at the moment. I just really love the way that blue and brown look together and how they work together. And obviously I was going for this really sort of cozy living room as well, so hopefully it worked. But I hope you're all having a fantastic week. I'm actually over the moon because finally, this is literally all I've moaned about in the last few videos that I've done, but typical Brits, we have to moan about the weather. But finally last night we got rain, and it's been weeks and weeks and weeks since we've had any rain, so I'd like to say it was quite refreshing, but it's still been really, really hot. But I must admit, it's been nice to just have a bit of rain. But I was literally sat editing last night, and I had my headset on and I took it off and I went to stand up to go and get a glass of water, and I thought, hang on a minute, what's that noise? So I ran to the window and I was like, it's raining, like some sort of crazy woman. So yeah, I'm really, really chuffed that we finally got rain. That's the highlight of my week. But no, we are on Friday finally, and it's the weekend, so I'm looking forward to just chilling out now with the rest of the family. My kids have only got, I think, about a week left. My eldest has got a week left at school, and then my other two have got, I think, a week and 2 days left before they break up for the big 6 to 7 weeks holidays. And I have to say, I'm really looking forward to it, and I do say this all the time, but I think I'm probably the only mum that really looks forward to the school holidays. But I'm excited to spend some time with them. It's always really good to have them around, and the house is always really, really busy and manic. But I think this is one of the last rooms in the house downstairs, and it's just a little office area where obviously I've included skill building items, the easel, as well as the bookcase and the computer, and it's just a small room really. It's kind of like a filler room, so you can put whatever you want in there. But this is now the upstairs, and I'm working on the master bedroom, and I did again go for kind of like this light blue and brown theme, and I really love the way that the stone looks on the inside. Now I know that's not to everyone's taste. I know brick walls on the interior of houses isn't something that people, you know, it's kind of subjective. Some people like it, some people don't, but I really, really love the way it looks. I'm not sure if I would really like it in real life though, if I'm honest. Thinking on, I bet it's really hard to clean. I bet it gets really, really dusty. But anyway, I like the way it looks in The Sims, so I was going to go with it. I was going with a whole homely thing, so yeah. But this is quite a straightforward master bedroom really. Nothing exciting sort of going on in there, just kind of all your basics. Now this is 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and I decided to do kind of a teen boys room as well as obviously the master bedroom. And the last bedroom, I initially was going to make it kind of like a toddler stroke child's room, but I decided to make it just like a young child's bedroom, which is like probably a bit more of a boyish style. But I quite like the way it turned out. I thought they were quite simple and straightforward, but had everything in them that you needed to include. I did actually go ahead and include the footage for the upstairs bathroom as well. With the house being quite small, I knew this was going to be a shorter video, so I thought I'd include the footage and show you the upstairs bathroom. But yeah, moving on to the last bedroom, I did kind of start out, like I say, with the toddler bed and the child's bed. And I was going to go for kind of a reddish theme because I felt like it probably fit the house better. But I think I did one of those in the last build that I did, so I thought I would change it and do something a little bit different. But if you did want to go back and add in the toddler bed, at least you know there's the space there to be able to do it. Obviously, I think with anyone that downloads these houses, you're always going to change up the bedrooms and the styles and things like that just to suit your particular Sims family needs. So, you know, it's not a bad room. I think it would make quite a good twin room, to be honest. But I thought in the end, the way that I was going to decorate it, I would keep it for just a single Sim. I also wanted to add one of the common questions that seemed to come up in the last few videos was whether I had the tray files to this build. Unfortunately I don't. This build is only available to download from the Sims 4 gallery. It is available to download now, and my origin ID is SimKimBuilds, or you can find it quite easily under the hashtag SimKim, but all the details will be in the description box below. But I'm just adding the finishing touches to the bedroom at the moment, and I really thought this was quite a cute little room. I quite like what I did with the teddy bear as well on the bench, although I'm pretty sure if a Sim goes to sit on that bench, they're probably going to sit straight through it, but I still thought the effect looked really cute. So I'm moving on to the last room in the house now, which is the bathroom, and there is obviously a bathroom downstairs as well, which is dressed up in quite a similar style really, with a similar colour scheme. But I hope you've really enjoyed this video. If you have, please feel free to give me a big thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, it'd be great to have you on board. I hope you all have a smashing weekend. I think mine's going to be quite nice and relaxing. I'm looking forward to this evening because my good friend Chloe Sims is actually streaming tonight on Twitch, and she's been away in Wimbledon all week, so I'm looking forward to a good catch up. But yes guys, take care, have an absolutely brilliant weekend, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, bye.